All right. Sacrificial land poem. Go.
Hi, I'm actually going to be doing the poem I used to compete last year because unfortunately in some way it still relates. So yeah. Here. Is this punishment? For the sin of misplaced pride and misfortune, the problem worsens. Have I missed the mark as much as I miss my friend Mark? You see, when Watsky says, nothing glory means no glory, but baby, please don't bore me. I think, yeah, I'm interesting. I've got multiple issues of daddy issues, but is that not a diss to everyone who's managed to live without crawling through as much wreckage? I've wondered if I was a perpetuator and perpetuating the myth of the tortured artist, or am I not tortured or artist enough? Because everybody's always raving about Edgar Allan Poe, put Plath on a platter, wolfing down Virginia Woolf. If you go to Van Gogh, he'll half hear and I told you so. But in high school, what saved me was making something beautiful out of the ugly. Am I not right? Is that not why you write? Well, we are here to hear, and it's been a shit year. We can't get back. But at least after a mental breakdown, it gave me this idea. Sometimes art is my only consolation, only salvation. They have their man caves. I have my poetry cave. It is under 3 covers in the dark, made with tears and tapping thumbs, stark naked heart, both a preservation and an exorcism of spirit. Nearly taking a hit takes a hit, I have a fit, become prolific, take my emotions by the hilt and plunge it into my poetry, up to it, golden glint like kintsugi. This broken mess, broken life don't make sense till you put it all together and it sings pretty poetry pottery. I spit fire to make my own kiln so it doesn't kill me, lick up what I drip. Sit with me for a bit. Thank you.
I never thought I would talk about you in past tense, no longer a partner, just an ex. Now I need to familiarize myself with this sound. I replaced your name with these letters, hoping it will make me feel better, even though nothing can measure the excruciating endeavor it will be for me to forget that you said forever. So I expel your name from my vocabulary to retain my sanity, exchange your name for X. Exclaim that my love has expired, exposed for what it truly was, explosive. For how else could I explain that to me you were extraordinary, exceeded every expectation, made me question any existence before you. That I was told what to expect, to accept the reality that you could see us married, that I could finally breathe, exhale a sigh of relief, that I could exile all thoughts of you ever leaving me, the expression I came to believe, I'm not going anywhere. I should have exercised caution, because an extraordinary love just became extra. The externalizing effects of your swallowed insecurities leading to exhausting excuses for non-existent communication, a refusal to change made over the phone in an expressionless tone, chilling me to the bone, a welcome execution for an already failing bond, all because you couldn't see that I am the exception. You took your exit, the easy way out, an example for all of excessive stubbornness and cowardice. And yet, I excruciatingly expel X from my lips, incorporate as many words to remind me of these 2 little letters. Because you see, I never wanted you to be an X. Thanks.
My name is Muhammad. Just like the prophet, just like the messenger, except God has sent me to shoot you, to inform you and whomever it may concern that you are no longer welcome in my fantasies, split the ocean to remind me God is the only reason I am still breathing, spit on love poems to show me I can't even fulfill my desires when dreaming, not without permission. Does God's love ever come without condition? Can't enter paradise, not without remission. Can't use faith to clear love's mind, even through petition. Can only love who I like, and not those who give me visions of family breakfast tables to the smell of my shakshuka. I want a divine intervention, But God sent me divine contraception, called it a verse. An ayah said our act of love was a transgression, an act cursed. Sometimes I wish God spoke to me less. They say impure intentions will lead you to confuse taboo for love. Holy discretion will be your wreckage, which you will later barter for a white dove, for some protection, for God's grace to walk past you so you may know what divinity smells like. Your impulses will be your downfall. And last I checked, they're still there. Still etched in the veins God provided for my body to bleed out. Not sure how many more prayers I can plead out. My arms I'm tired. If only Abd Abdi would frame me in this form, making wudu out of tayammum, water out of sand, they would never make me a saint. My fingers curl to the back of my earlobes. I will not miss a crevice of God's grace. I cannot afford to. Thank you.
This poem's called To the Ocean. It calls out to me the familiar welcome of a friend that knows my pain, has held my weight, and has caught me when I have fallen. An energy that has thrown me down, a stern adversary that has stung my eyes and has taught me to see a reality beyond me. Relentlessly, I'm at war with you. I choose my battles wisely, sometimes aiming for a win, other times just a hit and a miss. Over and under, I weave through your threads, the fabric of which marks my skin, like I have given my soul to you. I read through your scribbles across the sand, page after page, as you lavishly speak to me in tongues more beautiful than any sonnet Shakespeare could ever write. Your seizing body always surrounding me, a supportive yet unpredictable force that keeps me guessing. I know you, yet you elude me. And so to the ocean I run, to seek shelter from the rain, and to find myself all over again, like he who was once lost is now found. Thank you.
We killed them. No one saw the tears as he strolled away, a moment drenched in sorrow. Only doomed thoughts remain. There was no offer for a helping hand, or just a talk. That was when to the cliff edge he turned to walk. No one saw the image in the mirror where she stared. Such a tragic distortion to believe that no one cared. And it only took a few twisted words to infect, to take the precious life her parents gave her and wind up dead. One parent says goodbye as their children go to another home. The only comfort is to return, grief-stricken and weeping all alone. Heartbroken, dream shattered. This is not how I do was meant to be. This kind of parenting was not their plan for family. If you ever look inside, if you ever see the eyes of terror hiding inside, reach out and take their hand. Small comforts can help when you don't understand. Hold them tight, don't let them go. Show them the love that you'll never let them go. The flashbacks, the nightmares, the pains in my head never made sense until PTSD was diagnosed instead. It was not heavy metal, not the horror movies that caused my lifelong depression. Uncovered throughout many an intense and honest therapy session about a traumatic childhood and being raped over a weekend. That's when the true black fog did descend. So I thank God, family and friends that stood by and held my hand, because I'm neither victim nor just a survivor. I'm here victorious for their sake and for me to better understand.
Life is a struggling friend. Each night she lays wake till dawn from the bed of her casket, unaware of what the day may bring. Life is a wandering thought. Each day a battle between good and evil, her thoughts swimming in lukewarm waters while profusely drowning in the glass of deep sea. Life is a defeated soldier who never lined up with anyone's standard of life, yet each moment putting her life in the line of fire, while the only support line was the lifeline number 131114. Wounds of not being pretty enough, scars of not being smart enough, staring down the gun barrel of never being good enough. Life is the masquerade she puts on when you ask her, "Are you okay?" Emotions, covered by feeble face masks, surrounded by a society that sees weaknesses, and sharing your feelings while being caught up in a fake facade of fame. Let's not surrender to misery another day. Let's take a step out in faith. Let's cry a little. Let our shame be our story that encourages others to share their journey. I'm all for showing my flaws, putting it on a pedestal and claiming the thorns in my flesh as my trophy. Only God can take the thing we want to hide and build the greatest story we will ever tell. We are perfectly imperfect beings. We are the result of what has been molded in dark places. We are the voices crying out in the wilderness. There's more to say after, "Are you okay?"